I'm Rachel,
I'm Ivy.
and we are Swords and Sapphics, a podcast all about queer media, representation, and women with a capital W.
Hello.
Hello.
Who are we talking to today?
I'm glad you asked.
Right?
Today, we're talking to a audiobook narrator, Frankie Porter,
Yay!
which is new and different for us because last year we said we wanted to talk to an audiobook narrator because we've never talked to one. And then Frankie kind of just fell into my DMs because she's narrating my Harlequin debut. And we saw that she was also going to be narrating Carmilla by, what's his face?
Something Sheridan?
Jay Sheridan LeFou.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
LeFou.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So we have a narrator today.
I know. Yeah, and she's great. It was such a fun time talking to her.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels back
Uh,
good to be back in like the
I
interview.
know. Our first guest of
I know,
2026.
it's true.
Yeah. And
That
it
was
was a joy.
it was a
Yeah.
joy. Yes.
Think we needed that because we took a huge break and sometimes it does feel like work when we have to come back. But like when we get to talk to really lovely, cool people who do really great things and have a completely different outlook than you'd consider.
Yeah.
That's so great.
I was
I'm glad
also
to be back.
thinking, like, when we were writing down the questions when we were preparing, it was so easy. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think we've ever done questions so easily
No,
before.
I think for sure think we could have like another 3 episodes with
Yeah,
Frankie and I still won't be done asking her
yeah,
questions
yeah.
because it's just a profession you never even you don't really consider the like background of
Mhm.
like this person is a narrator, but how did they become a narrator and what qualifications do you need to have and like how do publishers find you and indie authors and things like that.
And I'm most fascinated by, like, Frankie was describing how she's like reading what she's looking for in the books that she's reading and about to
Mm.
narrate. That's such a like different outlook because I know like the way like you and I read books is so different from like people who read them just for fun, right?
Yeah.
We're already doing that differently. But I've
Yeah.
never thought of like this angle on how to look at it and
Yeah.
like what to look for in the characters. And that was so,
And also it must be a great skill to have because like she was talking about how like she's had to read ones in the past that felt quite flat but there must be you kind of have to find a way to put life into it and love it anyway,
yeah.
and that's such a nice thing to be able to do. Like even the flatter books that you're not necessarily excited for become a great project by the end.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like audiobooks are great.
Yeah.
Everybody. I remember not wanting to give it a shot because I was so scared of being bored. And
Mm.
now sometimes I'm like, I have to find something to do well because I really want this audiobook.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the most accessible ways of reading, because there are apps out there where you don't even need subscriptions and stuff. Like you can get
Hmm.
free audiobooks and things like that. Yeah.
The libraries also have audiobooks now, so that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember back in the day when you used to go into the library, there used to just be like one shelf of little CDs, audiobook CDs.
I don't remember. It might
Oh,
have been,
really?
but I would not go to that part.
But then again, how many would you have had? Because if like it was a new thing and the majority of audiobooks were in English,
It's true.
maybe you.
Yeah, like now it's a thing here. Like their
Yeah.
apps, their CDs. But well, before we get to the interview, what are you
Mhm.
enjoying these days?
What am I enjoying these days? Oh, well, I just finished Knight Rider by Sloane Fletcher. I
Mhm.
talked about it last episode, but I finished it and it was great. I'm so excited because I was asked to blurb it, so then I sent my blurb in, and they immediately asked me if I wanted the second book, and she said the editor was so excited about my enthusiasm, and I'm like yes, because we talked about it last week. The second book is the second chances one with they had a baby who died, and they're like going then she can't talk to him without snapping at him, and oh, I'm so excited.
Drama.
The best angst. I shouldn't be this happy about what I just said, and I realize that. But like for the angst, okay.
We've been through this conversation many times. By now, you guys should know that.
I know if you're just tuning in, welcome. This is the place where we celebrate fucked up shit because
Yeah,
it provides great literary
it's true.
content.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? You reading anything?
I am reading. I'm reading The Knight and the Moth. Night, The Knight and the Moth
Hmm.
by Rachel Gillick. And it deserves all the hype it's gotten. It's so good. I really adore the writing. It's gothicy. There is a gargoyle who's her like friend slash pet. Well, she's also the gargoyle's pet slash friend. I love him. I'm scared for him because if Sarah J. Maas taught me anything, it's that once you love a side character who's adorable, they're gonna die.
I
And now I
know.
don't. I'm just like terrified. But it's a really great book. I can't recommend it enough. Um,
Yeah. Ivy told me the knight has wears eyeliner and three piercings in one of his ears, and
yeah,
now I want to read it for that information,
I
purely for that.
know. I don't know. It just makes the man much hotter. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Give more men dangly earrings. I said this when we were watching Ted Lasso, and Jamie has the episode with his dangly earrings. Like, why is there not more dangly earrings in the world?
I agree. Yeah.
Feel very passionately on this
As
subject.
he should. That's all I'm reading right now.
And what are you watching?
I have my Apple TV on again, so I caught up on the new season of Shrinking, which is a comedy from the therapist office where Harrison Ford is a therapist who also have Parkinson's. It's so much fun. And I mean, Brett Goldstein is writes the show, who is Roy Kent from Ted Lasso. And he also wrote on Ted Lasso. And it's the same when you take like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Parks and Rec. Like you can tell that it's the same creator.
Mm.
It has the same feel to it, and it's just so much fun. And I also am rewatching Ted Lasso because I can't have Apple TV on without rewatching Ted Lasso. I
And
just
I'll predict the next thing you'll be watching.
you can,
Try
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Try it.
You know what? I forgot about it. But yes, that's definitely gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that those ah this is so great things on Apple TV. Like their originals are brilliant.
I do miss it. I it gives me demand avoidance that I only get it when I've got free trials because then I'm like, I have to watch this, otherwise I'm wasting my trial. Then my brain's like, whoa, I can't do what you're asking me to do because you're asking me to do it.
Yeah,
Then I have to walk away.
I understand. I understand. I mean, I am then just ignoring every subscription that I have on,
Hmm.
uh, but it is what it is. It is life. Life is hard.
It is hard. There's too many things to subscribe to. I
It's
just think they should make one big subscription place.
yeah.
I've had enough.
But also right now, which I don't remember that being the case before, Apple TV has also like other movies and shows to stream on them in the subscription. Before you could only rent it, if I recall, but now it's part of it.
Yeah, Amazon do it as well with like different, they have different channel subscriptions, but you have to
Yeah,
pay separately for each one.
right. But Apple before they had only like Apple Originals.
Yeah.
And then like you had to rent it, but now it's in the subscription.
Oh, really? So
Yeah, they
wait,
have
can you get yeah.
materialists and stuff. Which
Ah,
I don't I thought I told you, but I might have forgotten.
I think you did. Do they have yellow jackets there?
I didn't look. I might have
Are
to,
they?
but I mean, right now, after when I'll have finally the time, I need to watch Eternity with Elizabeth Olsen, which that's why I turned the subscription on because I wanted to watch it because it's there, but I didn't get to it yet. I'm reading a great book. I can't watch a movie right now.
I understand.
But
And you
another
watched.
things we're watching, we finished season one of The Last of Us.
Yes, we did, finally.
Yeah, it took a minute, but we got there.
It's
Yeah.
only downhill from here, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm aware of that now.
But did you love it?
I loved it.
Do you understand how hard it was for me to not have anybody to talk to about my feelings?
I understand. I really appreciate it.
Of
And now I
course.
kind of want to go replay the game.
Yeah, me too. I was what it's like when they have those perfect moments that feel like you're back in the game, like when they're walking along the landscapes. That's when I'm like, oh, I need to go back to it now.
Even
And they did it so well.
even in the last episode when Joel like the two guys in the stairwell and then he put on the backpack and you could see it from the back. That felt like a game moment
Yeah,
because he kept staring at their backs the whole time.
yeah.
That's just yeah, I just felt like the cutscene end and like the camera pan out for where you had to go walk in the game.
It's one of the most faithful adaptations I've ever watched, and I think that has to be particularly hard for a game because like it's designed to be for gameplay, not for like kind of inactive viewership.
Yes, but also I think with games like The Last of Us, where the narrative is so strong and you're just like walking like alongside it,
Yeah.
I guess that I think those are the games that make it make sense to adapt them as a TV show.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like there's a lot of cinema, but what I'm saying is they could have ignored the gameplay altogether and just based
Mm.
it off the cinematics,
I
but
mean,
they
they didn't
didn't.
give me one plank, so I don't know. They kind of ignore that.
They did in the third episode when they're walking across it at
Yes.
sunset.
Oh yeah,
It's
now
just,
I recall. Was she though
yeah.
on like some, did he drove her over the water on something?
No, he didn't, did he?
See, so they did fail me at one thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I got ladder in the last episode.
And they didn't smash any bottles for the sake of distraction.
They didn't have my emotional support break.
So
Like,
now, come to think of it, actually, it's a dog shit
oh my
adaptation.
gosh. Mm. Oh my God.
I
I
love.
didn't even realize how much they disappointed me.
Yeah, we'll wait till the fucking second season because they fuck up everything.
Not once did Joel find like water and made it into a medkit. Like, what the hell? What are we
Oh,
even doing?
he didn't find any scissors or tape.
I didn't have one Molotov cocktail.
Or stun bombs.
Ugh.
Or shivs. I mean, he does like sneaky sneak a couple of
Yeah, he
times.
did sneak a few times, but
Yeah.
was it enough? No,
Mhm.
no,
Could
it
have been better.
wasn't. Could have been
No.
better. So there are ways to go.
Yeah. Work to do yet.
Yeah.
But I'd rather they stop doing it actually. I will be intrigued to see what you think of the second season.
I know nothing of the second season. Like, I don't think I've seen anything. I managed to like not
Mm.
have anything anywhere.
There are a few moments that are very similar, but they seem to fuck up most of it. Like
Mm.
messed with it most of it in ways that I just can't comprehend. I think that's the worst part. If it would have been like that from the beginning, okay, you'd be used to it. But how can you do such a wonderful like job of the first season and stay so truthful and faithful to the original source and then just play so much with this? I think they got too cocky with the way
Mm.
that with the success of the first season. That's all I can think of. And I think
Also,
they didn't know how. I think the second season would have required more work to make it from a game to a show just because of the way that the stories are told to a show just because of the way that the stories are told, like the point of view splits.
mhm.
I don't think they considered that at all. Anyway,
I
I don't
also
want to say too much
yeah,
while you watch it yet.
but I also think like that was the case with Shadow and Bone.
Mm,
The Netflix got into it then. So I think that
mm.
must have been the same thing where HBO was like, you have to do this, this, and that. And then they completely ruin it because they just care about the money.
Yeah, that's what
I
it is.
mean,
The more
Netflix did that.
successful a show gets, the worse it gets, the worse quality. They did it. It's with the same with Doctor Who. Like it has the biggest budget it's ever had, and it's the shittest it's ever been.
Mm.
It's crazy.
Anyway, what are you
Anyway,
watching?
nothing exciting for me. Rewatching Vampire Diaries for my love Enzo, not the not my dog, the vampire Enzo.
Yeah.
Getting some good Bonnie and Enzo moments. I'm so mad that like we only got 2 seasons of it and they rushed it so bad, but never
Mm,
mind. And I went back to Yellowstone last night. I'm on the last season. It
mm.
was it was a slog.
Oh.
I, it was kind of like watching the first episode again, where like don't care about half these scenes actually.
Mm,
But I got good drama at the end because but also it annoyed me because Monica Casey's wife was pregnant. She was getting contractions. She decided to get in a car and drive to the hospital. Naturally, she fucking crashed
yeah.
because she was contracting and somebody else was fucking around on the road.
Mm.
Like, if I was pregnant and possibly in labor, I wouldn't be driving a car, I fear.
Fair enough.
No, I think she's lost the baby, and that one of the last scenes was Casey lying in the hospital bed while she was unconscious, and it was a good one.
I was about to say, like, what do you mean you hated that?
Yeah, no, not that part. I just can't. It was just the way it happened. Like, I simply wouldn't do that if I was pregnant. But whatever,
Fair enough.
whatever floats your boat. I know they're in the middle of nowhere, so the rules are different. But
I wouldn't be in the middle of nowhere in the first place, so I don't know.
I know. I mean, I think she wanted to move them into the city, but Case has responsibilities as a livestock agent, you know?
It's sure. Yeah. I don't know, but I'm gonna just believe you.
I understand. And also I got a flashback of I got some good Beth and Rip moments. They're my loves.
Mm.
Just kind of waiting for John Dutton to die now. Because I think that's what happens because Kevin Costner split from the show in this I think in the second half because of creative differences
Right.
with the showrunner. So I'm waiting for that. But yeah, that's it really.
What are you playing?
I'm playing Spider-Man. I finished the main story. And I really love Peter Parker and I want to take care of him. And I can't believe I keep having to live in universes where he loses everyone he loves.
I know.
Oh yeah, I've been playing Death Stranding.
Oh, yes, that too.
What do you want me to say?
I was waiting for you to say the game that you've played like 13 hours a day since Christmas.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about Death Stranding, but I have been playing a lot of Stardew Valley too much. I just married Maru.
Congratulations.
It's really refreshing to not have a room full of beer stains added to my house,
Fair enough.
even though I miss Shane.
Yeah.
Everyone's congratulating me. Apparently, Demetrius had the house all tense because he wasn't happy about our wedding, but he gave me his blessing in the end. I didn't need it. I didn't want it.
No, yeah,
Fuck
that's
you,
true. I
Demetrius.
know. Tell him.
Yeah. What about you? What you play?
What about me? I've been playing the Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be doing that for a while, I think.
Yes.
I made a really, really, really evil decision on my evil run. I'm still paying the price. I'm still working on fixing my karma because obviously it's been altered since then. But I also kind of like being evil. I got like this slayer form that I can shift into, and it's big and it has 4 arms and it's ugly, and I kind of love it.
Yeah.
Astarion obviously is the only one supporting me in my absolute like unnecessary bloodshed.
Which is all that matters, really, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. Every time I get like a little pop-up that says Astarion disapproves, I I used to like reload the game when I but now my his approval is so high that I guess I can disappoint him every now and then. I just don't want to. I
I
just
get
don't
it.
want to. I want him to be proud of me, I
Yeah. I
think.
had to do the same thing because in Stardew there's a necklace and I accidentally gave it to Caroline instead of Abigail.
Mm,
And you get both something for both because you can give it to either one of them, but like don't care about Caroline.
yeah.
Abigail's the love of my life.
Until she leaves Bea.
You know. Oh, Pierre was my secret Santa, by the
Oh,
way.
it's better than fucking George, man. I have got George like 4 times by now, out of like 5 Christmases. I'm sick and tired.
Oh well, my the one I gave it to was Robin, but Pierre gave me the gift. He
Oh,
gave me a poppy seed muffin, so I wasn't too mad about it.
nice. Anything else?
Don't think so.
Well, then I guess we should get into our interview with Frankie.
Yay!
Enjoy.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Could you start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
So, my name is Frankie Porter. I use she, her pronouns. I'm based in Bristol, and I'm a queer polyam audiobook narrator,
Wonderful.
working primarily in romance, but also kind of across genres, spanning the genres.
Beautiful. How did you become a audiobook narrator, and what drew you to the career? You know what I mean.
So,
I can pronounce it.
so it happened completely by accident. During COVID. I was previously before COVID, I had an office job doing something completely different, something totally unrelated. I was furloughed from that. And I was at home, and it was during the time right at the beginning of the first lockdown where everyone was doing real cute, wholesome community support stuff. You know, there was like Zoom yoga and remote board games and things. And I thought I want to help. Like I want to be part of supporting my community. What can I do? What can I do? I mean, I love reading to people. Maybe people would like a bedtime story. Maybe that would be kind of comforting in this time of everything being fucked. And so I went online and I posted on a community support page. Tonight at 9, I'll be reading the first few chapters of Chocolat by Joanne Harris, one of my kind of all-time favorite comfort escapist reads, if anyone would like a bedtime story. Way more people showed up than I was expecting. Really enjoyed it. Asked for more. I mean, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not busy. No one's busy. So we did more the next night and the night after and the night after. And we ended up running it every night for 14 months. Um, which was amazing, which was not what I was expecting. So during that time, we worked our way through 20 full-length novels, doing it Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday we would have a kind of poetry salon, and Sunday we'd have standalone Sunday, which was like a one-off for anyone who wanted to be part of the community but couldn't commit to a full book.
Mhm.
Um, and it just became this really amazing community with kind of in jokes and people supporting each other. And I loved it so much. And eventually one of my partners was like, you know, you're really good at this. Like you clearly really love it. You have you thought about doing this as a job? And I sort of went, oh, babe, like that's cute. You're cute. I love you too. And they were like, no, like for realsies, what if you did? And so I did. So I looked into it and I got set up and I started auditioning for things and I started getting things and I got some training, and it just sort of snowballed from there, really.
That's such a
Amazing.
beautiful story to how you really find your job. Like that's really beautiful.
Thank you.
So we were going to ask you what sort of training does voice narration require, if any? So I guess you
Mm.
kind of answered it.
So a lot of my fellow narrators have come from a kind of traditional acting background. You know, they'll have been to drama school and they'll be stage and screen actors. Um, Also, you know, a lot of people come into it through the same kind of way as me, you know, that's not it's a new career for them. But I really believe that it's important to get training and to get coaching, even for people who feel like they're really good at it naturally, like they've been told they have a beautiful voice, they love reading to their children or whatever, because it's ultimately it is acting. It's not just reading something in a nice way. It is, I think it should be acting. And so I think it's really important to get acting training. And that was a real watershed moment for me when I signed up I got coaching with an amazing UK audiobook narrator called Helen Lloyd. And I did this like distance acting for audio course with Joel Frumkin, who is this absolute superstar, complete icon, based in Florida. And he runs this kind of 3 to 4 month course that is specifically kind of conservatoire classical acting techniques adapted for audiobook work. And I did that, which because it was in Florida, he was running these classes 7 till 10 p.m., but that was midnight till 3 a.m. for me. So, so once a week I was like staying up doing this course with him, and that was completely transformational. Um, yeah.
Oh, amazing. As you've narrated so many books across many genres, do you have a favorite and why?
A favorite genre?
Yeah.
Okay. So romance.
Mhm.
Because because I love it. You know, who doesn't love it? Why wouldn't you love it? And also because I feel I love that, and it's really important to me to do that from a values and political perspective as well. Like romance is a genre that is so so dominated by female authors and female readers and listeners. Like women and AFAB folk are the vast majority of people who are both creating and consuming this genre. And it's about, so it's about women's voices and women's desires, people getting to see reflected and create worlds in which their desires can be explored safely, and that they can um can you tell I feel passionately about this
I
bit?
love it. It
um
makes me happy.
it's so good, and it's so so important to me, and I really love getting to be a part of that, getting to bring these stories to life, both for the often women who have created them, for the generally female audience, and also the representation that you get in the stories that you just don't get in other genres in the same kind of way. Like I'm poly. I have two long-term, like very healthy, very committed relationships. I don't see relationships like mine portrayed in a positive way in any other genre. Like it's always a love triangle where everyone is like fucking each other up and nobody's being honest and it all ends terribly. But romance? There's so many stories. There's such a big section of the genre which is about, hey guys, what if you could ethically and consensually love multiple people? Like, yes, yes. Like, write the world you wish to see.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Does it get, or did it get ever weird to narrate more the more the spicy scenes?
Yeah.
So for me, no, because I'm a shameless hussy. Um, and I
Amazing.
have very little in the way of natural embarrassment. So
Fair
I
enough.
love that shit, and I always have.
Amazing.
I envy that as an author. Really had to train myself to write those
Oh,
scenes.
really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. How do you find it now? Is it easier for you now, or are you still a bit like, ah?
I'm getting there, yeah. I think like once you start viewing it as part of the job, it's not too bad. And also, who doesn't want a bit of sexy time, you know?
Right, exactly.
Is there anything about your work that would surprise people who don't know much about it?
I think maybe the time that it takes.
Mhm.
I think it surprises people a lot when they discover that it doesn't take 8 hours to record an 8 hour audiobook. That, the average, like industry average, is I think something like 3 hours of recording to produce 1 hour of finished audio. It can be as little as two, it can be as much as four. Um, there's plenty of narrators out there who have kind of dense mathematical textbooks that they have to narrate where it's even longer than that. It's just a real slog. Um, but it's not that you sit in a booth and you kind of placidly read stories to yourself all day. Like it's hard work, and it's very time intensive.
Yeah, I bet. What does the process look like from the preparing to actually recording?
So for me, because I know lots of people have different processes, but for me, I read the entire manuscript first to prep it. And I have a prep sheet that I fill in, which will include pronunciations for any names, places, in-world objects, foreign languages, or kind of in-world vocabulary, as well as like any words that come up where I'm like, I'm not completely sure about that. Um, I'll make any kind of make a big list of any queries that come up, and I'll fill in a character Bible. So any character, even like the smallest one who doesn't get named, I put into this character Bible, and I fill in their name if they're given one, how I think it's pronounced, gender if given, approximate age if given, and any kind of vocal characteristics, so if their voice is described as husky, high, throaty, smooth, velvety, whatever, or descriptions of them as a physically of them as a character. If a character is described as big and barrel chested, that is going to affect how their voice sounds. And so I kind of, yeah, make this big character Bible. And if I'm working with an indie author, I then I will share that with them, and I have fields that I ask them to fill in to describe the main or support characters. And the most important one of those for me is the three adjective description, which I really enjoy. And so the idea is for every main or kind of reasonably central character, I ask the author to provide either two negative and one positive adjectives or two positive and one negative, um, which helps me with characterization in terms of understanding what the author wants for these characters, what is the vision of who they are, and also helps the characterization be more three-dimensional, which I think is particularly useful when it comes to villains, to kind of sort of force the author to acknowledge that they have one positive trait, even if it's confidence or kind of highly organized or efficiency or something like that. That this isn't just a two-dimensional caricature of like a baddie, that this is a real person. So yeah, and then I'll go off and do a bunch of character prep, which mostly involves me striding around my room, muttering to myself like a lunatic.
I do that and no one pays me for that, so you're one
Yeah,
step further.
get into audiobook narration.
Amazing. Thank you.
I'm curious how you protect your voice, and also, do you get sick of talking sometimes? Because I I remember when I used to read to my sister, I was like, had enough now.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So I protect my voice with just vast quantities of tea. Like I drink tea like you would not believe it. I must have the cleanest, healthiest kidneys in the city. Um, and I do vocal warm-ups at the start of the day. Okay, I'm going to tell you a thing. Pretend it makes me sound cool. Okay, pretend this is a cool thing to tell you. Um, so I have kind of like sort of singing and scale-based warm-ups and some humming-based warm-ups. And I finish my warm-up every day by singing One Week by the Bare Naked Ladies 3 times.
Oh, I love that.
Because it's the right pitch for me. It's quite a similar pitch to my natural voice. It has a bit of singing, it has a bit of kind of fast rap. It's really good for kind of like warming up my vocal muscles without overstraining them. And so I sing it through once very, very quietly, kind of like whispering. I sing it once like really over articulating the words with my mouth. And then I sing it one more time, performing it, like really, really fucking going for it. Um, and that cheers me up and also makes sure that my voice is in a really kind of like warm, activated state before I start messing with it.
I love it.
It does mean that my Spotify Wrapped every year is completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Spotify is like, this bitch continues to really love One Week by Bare Naked Ladies. And so every time I start a new playlist on Spotify, the first recommended track is One Week by Bare Naked Ladies. I'm like, no, 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 I don't actually, that's not something that I'm listening to for fun.
What if you get sick of it?
Oh God, let me tell you, I have got sick of it.
Oh no.
I can do this. I can do this for like 10 minutes a day for the sake of my throat.
Yeah.
Most.
Fair enough.
Are there any hidden challenges to the work? What happens if you don't like the book you're narrating? If that happens.
It happens. It happens. Um, so I've not yet had it where I have agreed and got under contract for a book and then it's come through and I've hated it so much that I've decided I can't do it. There have been books that I've been approached to do where I've looked through it and have decided this is this is not for me. Either because the content is there was like a pitch black, very, very, very dark romance that I was approached to do. And I do dark romance under a pseudonym, but this I was like, I think this is too much for me. I think this is too far for me. Um, and I have had ones where I'm just like, I don't like the writing. I don't think this is a good book. I don't want to do it. But there have been a couple of instances of titles that I definitely won't name on a podcast, where I have agreed to do it based on, the first couple of pages that they've sent me as an audition excerpt or something, and then the whole thing has come through, and it is lovingly dog shit. Um, and so far, I've just done it.
Yeah.
And the way that I can kind of approach it then is how can I make this book better with my performance of it? If the writing is kind of over the top and cringy, or the characters are wooden and unbelievable, how can I bring nuance with the performance of it that doesn't necessarily exist in the text? Like the benefit of a human voice rather than an AI voice is that it can bring subtext. That a human voice that you can there's a difference between that's not what I mean and that's not what I mean. Um, and that there is a way that I can try and improve a less shiny manuscript, by deciding that the characters are more interesting and complex than they are and playing them as if they were.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes when I'm reading a book and th that's the case where the characters are coming off a little flat and I'm not feeling what they're feeling, I go to audiobook and it gives me
Mm,
like if it's well done, like it gives me completely different experience than I would have if I read it. So that happens to me a lot too. So
that's really cool to hear.
yeah.
I really like that's an experience that you've been able to
Yeah.
have.
I mean, I remember with the Poppy War, which is an excellent trilogy, but I remember like not feeling the feelings that the character
Mm,
did. And the audiobooks are one of my favorite ever that I've ever listened to, so recommend it to everyone to read it on audiobook. But that was the
okay.
case for me there too, even though it's like brilliantly written. But yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. I've been meaning to read that anyway because it's by the same author as Babel.
Yeah.
Is that right? And Catabasis, and I loved Catabasis. I had a great
Mhm.
time with Babel, but
Mhm.
Catabasis I read recently and was
Yeah.
just destroyed pieces. So
Amazing.
I'll have to check out the audiobook of the Poppy War, is it?
Yes. Yes.
Mm,
Like it's one of my favorites. Totally recommend.
awesome.
Have you ever created a distinct voice for a character and later on regretted it, or just was like, I wish I chose a different approach to this?
Yeah, yeah. Um, so obviously this happened to me much more in the early days
Mhm.
when I knew what I was doing much less.
Mm.
Um, there was one particular trilogy that I did that had it was a romance, and the main character was this kind of Irish sort of warrior prince guy. Um, and And I decided to give him a voice that was like this. It was really like husky and kind of throaty and oh God.
That's doing it for
I
me.
know, I was about to
Yeah, right.
say.
It sounded, I came up with him. I was like, oh my God, yes, yes. And after about the first hour and a half, I was like, I have regrets. I have so many regrets. It was just every scene was just like this, and he's really intense, and my voice was absolutely killing me. And yeah, that was I would make slightly different choices there
As
now,
a
I think.
reader, I would appreciate it though. Not
I
gonna lie.
know. I want to listen to that at night in my ears.
Great, great. That's very, very affirming to hear, actually. It was all worth it.
Amazing.
I'm gonna go listen to that one now.
Yes. Well, I for a while I mysteriously got typecast as a like sort of time traveling medieval Irish prince. There was like unexpectedly a few books. I was like, this is not, I did not think that I would ever get typecast as a medieval time traveling Irish prince, but apparently this is a subset of the romance genre that I didn't know existed.
It's absolutely the best sell you could possibly like. 10 out of 10.
Get that on the CV.
Um, what do you look for in a project typically? And what's a deal breaker if you turn something down?
Um, Good writing. Um,
Mhm.
these days, good writing. These days, I'm lucky enough that I am doing well enough in my career that I can afford to turn down books that I don't think are well written. And because I'm mostly working with publishers and producers these days, I will generally get the whole manuscript sent through when I am invited to audition or when I'm asked if I would like to do this book. So I can kind of have a skip through and I can get a feel for the writing.
This is
So
good news for me.
yeah, yeah.
Great
Oh
to
my
know.
God. I read the manuscript for yours and I like skipped through and I came across a passage which it was something about atoms. It was something about like the space between two characters and the atoms in the space. I was just like, fuck me, yeah, I want this one. I want this one. It's so
Oh,
good. Yeah, 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 yeah.
thank you.
Really beautiful. So yeah, bad writing is I think a bit of a deal breaker for me. And um like there are some themes that I am very careful around. So like sexual assault, for instance. I have, I have done a bunch of books that have that as either as a theme or as kind of scenes of that, and that's like intense and can be good intense. Like that can be an interesting performance challenge. But I tend to steer clear of particularly dark romance, which uses like coercive or non-con as a kind of erotic element. Like I know that some people are very into that, and that's completely fine, but that is not something that I tend to feel comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
How do you manage a reading slump when you have to read for work?
Mm. As in a reading slump in my kind of private life.
Yeah.
Does it make me sound like a twat if I say I don't really get reading slumps? That's quite a twatty
Yes.
thing
I
to say,
mean,
isn't
it makes me extremely
No.
jealous. Like, good for
it?
you.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think my problem is that I don't get enough time to read.
Mm.
Um, because of work and because of my relationships, and I'm a dancer as well, so I travel for dance quite a lot. And my life is just very, very busy, and so it's more likely that I don't have as much time to read as I would like. Um, but I will find myself periodically switching niches. Like if I'll realize that I've read a whole bunch of books that have felt like one type of book, and I will get the desire to come out of that as a genre. Like there was a period of time where I sort of accidentally read horror. I wasn't intending to, but it just felt like for about a month, all of the books that I was kind of drawn towards and that I was picking up and I was buying were kind of messed up in a really interesting way. And I definitely got to the point with that where I was like, I think I want to read something nice. My local bookstore is a complete is a gem for that. I can go along. They're really, really good, a little independent bookshop. And I can go to them and I say like I'm looking for a book that is like this, like this, like this, that has these kinds of words on the cover, or is going to make me feel in this particular way. Um, and they're really good at recommending something. And generally, I will just buy whatever they recommend without really looking at it, um, and take it home and read it. And that is quite often a way that I'll love it, and that will send me off on a different tangent of reading.
Fair enough.
So your next project is Carmilla, which is huge. How do you prepare for such a well-known kind of book like that?
So, oh my God, so exciting, so exciting. So I've actually just finished recording on that. I wrapped that the other week. Um, and yeah, preparing it was interesting because I knew that I was going to have my own take on it. Or I wanted to have my own take on it. And I, yeah, and so I read it and I kind of just thought about what the characters meant to me, or what my experience and my perspective and my own personal interpretation was of the characters, and the kind of themes and what's happening. Because like that is the unique thing that I and any audiobook narrator can bring, is our own individual perspective. So and I was just like, "Oh, it's so gay. It's so gay. It's so gay." That, and that's not. I haven't discovered that, right? That's not like, whoa, Frankie, what a unique and unusual interpretation of queer classic Carmilla. Um, but it had been years since I'd read it, and I was surprised all over again by how fucking gay it is. And I was really struck by this sort of sense of Carmilla attempting to justify her own existence, and not only her own existence but her own sexuality, right? Like that's it. It's presented as part of the vampire's existence, and her um, kind of perverted sexuality are all aspects of the same thing. And so there are these passages where she's talking about, everything's natural, isn't it? Everything in the world exists because nature made it that way. And, this disease that is supposedly ravaging the countryside is natural. And um, everything acts in the way that nature ordains that it should act, right? Um, and I just found it quite heartbreaking that the sort of sense of her attempting to justify herself and her desires, um, by saying like, this is just who I am. This is how I'm made. I'm doing the thing that I'm meant to do. I can't help it. Um, and I really love that. And so I tried to really draw that out and really kind of emphasize that. And I wanted to. So there's the bit at the end. Spoilers for Carmilla. Anybody who is listening to or watching this, if you don't want to know how it ends, I guess like skip forward 3 minutes. Um, but at the end, after Carmilla has been killed, and Laura, the main character, is talking about her memories of Carmilla, and kind of this. Sometimes she remembers her as the girl, this sort of playful, languid girl, and sometimes she remembers her as this sort of fiend. Um, and the way she's talking about the vampirism, this from a scientific lens, that she's all like, the way that vampires work is that they get very obsessed with a certain person, and the way that they interact with that person can seem very much like love, and it manifests as almost a kind of courtship, and that it can seem as if they want the sympathy and consent of their victim. That she's to me, it seems really clearly sort of still so hung up on Carmilla, and is trying to talk about this as though it's, dispassionate, and talking about it from a kind of scientific, objective perspective, but the feeling kind of welling up in her. And I just love that.
Amazing. You
I
as
haven't
Okay, we went off on one there, sorry.
oh, that's
no.
amazing. I was about to say, like, you as you're looking at all the books like differently, you're reading them differently, and it's very refreshing take. It's very beautiful.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I haven't actually read Carmilla yet, which is a crime, I know. But I maybe your narration will be my
There.
first experience of it.
It doesn't end like that. Who could possibly say how it ends? It's
I
I'll,
just
pro-
read
probably a
it.
happy ending.
I'll have forgotten by
Yeah,
tomorrow, so it's
That's true.
fine.
Yeah, I mean, I just read the book like a few weeks ago, and
yeah,
I struggle with classics. Like English is my second language, and reading it in English is I struggle with it. So I was like, yeah, I enjoyed the first half a lot, the second half not so much. That was my take from the book. So I was like, it feels like a completely different book, and it's just like it's a beautiful thing. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Well, we're running out of time, so before we go, we always ask our guests to just do you have any book, TV show, movie, anything, especially if it's queer, that you'd like to boast about it that you're currently enjoying?
So, okay, I prepared for this moment. Um,
The most important
two,
one.
two, two kind of queer books. The first one that I'm going to recommend is I'll hold this up and you guys will be like, oh, and probably everyone listening to the podcast will be like, yeah, obviously we know, but this is How You Lose the Time War by
Mhm.
Amal El-Mota and Max Gladstone
Mhm.
is one of my all-time favorite
Mhm.
queer reads. I think it's so beautiful. Um, yeah, it's everything. It's got everything, and it's so short.
Mhm.
I if anybody hasn't read it, I advise them to get it and read it in one sitting. Put aside like 4 hours and just read it cover to cover, and immerse yourself in it. I think it's just one of the most kind of luminous, poetic books that I've read in a really long time. Um, and the other one that I want to recommend is from my horror phase, which
Mhm.
is this, which is called Feast While You Can. The pull quote on the front is a truly monstrous romance, by turns alluring and appalling, sexy and grotesque. Uh, which it is, which
Mhm.
it is. It's very gay, it's very hot, it's very kind of oh oh God, it freaked me out. It really spooked me,
Mhm. Yeah.
which I think it's really impressive when a book can do it.
Mhm.
Watching something, it's very easy for it to kind of give you the shivers. But for a book to really make you go, oh, I think I have to look away from this for a moment, um, that's very impressive. It's so hot. So these are my recommends.
I love
Oh,
it.
if I may,
Mhm.
this is very cheeky. I have a request for recommends. So I am on a mission at the moment. I want to read more queer and particularly sapphic love stories that are like positive, good love stories that aren't in the romance genre. I love romance very much, but I don't want romance as a genre uh, to sort of have the monopoly on sapphic and queer love stories that end happily and positively. And I feel like quite often when I read a sapphic story that is outside of the romance genre, it ends badly. Like one or both of them die or get eaten by something, or one or both of them go return to their kind of cishet boyfriends and reject their queerness,
Mhm.
or they're just really shitty to each other. Like I want good love stories that
Mhm.
aren't in the romance genre. And so if anybody has any of those for me, at Frankie
She'll need
Narrates on
to know.
Instagram,
Yeah.
I would love to
I,
hear about it.
the
Suddenly, I
first one
remember no book that I've read
yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
I was thinking Maddie Martinez's The Maiden and Her Monster. That's a
That one
Golem of
really
Pride
popped up.
reimagining. So it's kind of a monster romance, but it's a huge fantasy world building more than the romance itself.
That sounds amazing. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
That one I had the only one because we recorded with Maddie last year, and I
Yeah.
read yeah, and it's based in my home, so that one is close to heart. But otherwise, I cannot think of anything right now.
I'm thinking of Rachel McLean's, oh my gosh, what's it called? Dorset
Um,
Murders series.
yes.
She's a detective and she has a thing going on with the lawyer, but it's more focused. It's a traditional kind of crime format, and that's kind of like the side story.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And that
that's all
also
I can about the minute.
also Alicia Jasinska is writing a lot of fantasy Suffolk stories. I read one
Mm,
book ages ago, so I can't say how it ended. I don't remember. But I know she's doing a lot of fantasy and with suffix in them, yeah.
great. Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. This has been wildly profitable.
We have less than a minute left, so I'm like, quick. But thank you so much for joining us today. I wish we could talk more.
Honestly, yeah.
It's been so nice.
It's been a blast. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on.
Of course. There we have it.
There we have it.
That was nice.
I
I
know.
was gonna ask you, do you remember the first audiobook that you listened to?
I don't know the first one. I don't. But
I know your favorite one is Poppy War.
that's the only thing in my brain. It was one of the firsts for sure.
Mhm.
I think actually, you know what? One of the first ones might have been on, it used to be called Script. Now I don't know what they call it now.
Everend.
Actually, it might have been either yours or like one of the short ones there.
I
Yeah.
think I think mine was one of mine as well
Yeah.
because I never listened to them before. Oh, it would have been one of my friends from Script.
Yeah.
I think it would have been Imogen Markwell Tweeds actually.
Yeah.
But I remember the first one that I really loved and realized why I love audiobooks,
Which
and
one?
it was Play On by Samantha Young because I got a Scottish accent,
Hmm. You
and I
always
was
go
like,
for the Scottish.
yeah, and that was it. Like I think when I listen to audiobooks now, I need like a good accent.
I get it. Ilona Andrews was also
Yes.
one of the first ones I read,
Mm,
an audiobook. And that's because I hated the physical copy that I got. Not like I loved reading it, but it was the mass paperback, and I just
mm,
couldn't hold it open.
yeah.
And it drove me nuts. So with Kate Daniels, I went on audio, and it was brilliantly narrated. Like I loved it so much that I immediately listened to the rest and
Mm,
everything Ilona Andrews. They do really. They always have great narrators,
yeah.
and I just enjoy them on audio a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not the best at audios. I only listen to them when I'm walking my dog. But since I got my new headphones, I just really listen to music more than listen to books.
I get it. It Audiobooks are great because it also helps me to reread books,
Mm,
and I don't have that time to reread it with eyes. So I love
yeah,
doing that on audiobook.
yeah, I get it. I do need to make more time for it. I think it's because like during the week my walks aren't nearly long enough as they should be with Enzo. So then I'm like, I only have this amount of time. I want to listen to my favorite song,
Yeah,
which
I
is
understand.
mostly just drag path right now, and Noah can.
I understand.
It's hard.
It is.
Although I have to say, as an author, it's really such a magical moment to listen to somebody narrate your book. And you're like, oh my God, wait, I wrote this. And it
Mhm.
actually sounds good when somebody reads it because, like, you don't have that perspective when you're in it.
No.
But when it becomes someone else's when you hear somebody reading it and you're like, oh, it's a real book and
It's
and the characters are like alive and it's such
Mhm.
a lovely feeling.
Yeah. I love audiobooks. I can't stress it enough.
Yeah. I think even now I have a deeper appreciation from it just for like talking to Frankie about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It just I love it when I'm doing my puzzles. I don't
Yeah.
enjoy when I'm on the wall because people talk to me and I have to pause it.
Oh
That
yeah.
pisses me off. But when I like when I'm playing Nintendo, which I don't do lately much, but when you're cleaning up, like it's just such a great thing to have a little companion in your ears.
Yeah.
Well then.
Support women's rights.
But most importantly, support women's wrongs. No one less.
No less.
No one less. Always. And we shall see you later, alligator.
In a wild crocodile.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. You can expect an episode every other Wednesday.
And be sure to expect lots of guests, including authors and queer creators.
While waiting for the episodes, feel free to check out our website, swordsandsuffix.com.
Be sure to submit to our forms if you're a queer creator to be featured on our blog or our monthly release lists.
You can also take part in Swords and Suffix and Scribbles, which is a monthly writing event to help you reach your goals.
And if you're just looking for a community that will be supportive and joyful, you can join our Discord server where most of our writing events take place, but also we just have lots of conversations and lots of fun.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, and TikTok, where you can find us as all kinds of versions of Swords and Suffix.